in our chat, you were talking about some printing plates, and that's something that I have not really heard people talk about in a while. So I'm curious to pick your brain on printing plates, what you think about them, and like we haven't seen printing plates in a while, also. So do you think they'll ever bring those back? And just on the macro view, what do you think about the printing plate cards?
I think it's super unique, and I don't know why we don't talk about it as a whole. I mean, PSA grades them, they authenticate them, they're one of ones, they're unique in that aspect. They're much younger than a lot of other products too. I mean, printing plates have only been around really since the late '90s, early 2000s. So putting them into products and for people to pull a 101, I mean, I'm personally, and if you look at some of the higher end UFC printing plates, I mean, those go for several $100s into the thousands now, with some of the earlier editions and things like that. But I don't know. I just feel like nobody talks about printing plates, and I'm sitting there and I was thinking this like earlier this week, and I was just like, I mean, these are when I've had several printing plates in my life, and I have some that I've recently purchased too. One of Tom Brady and some other stuff. I think they're super neat, unique. I think they evoke a conversation, and I think too it's kind of unique that the company puts the printing plates into the packs and things like that
Mm-hmm.
for people to pull. I mean, it's just a neat little thing in the hobby that I think nobody talks about, and I just think it's something that's different and cool, and we're always looking for something that's different and cool, and I just don't know why. Maybe because it's a metal card, or it I don't know. It does catch on the higher levels, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, why it's not a discussion point. To be honest with you, Zach.
Yeah, I was looking up to see like when the last time that they had any printing plates were, because they didn't do any of them during the Panini era. Topps has yet to bring them back. I want to say 2019 was the last time I could find any UFC printing plates, and I completely agree with you, man. They are very, very cool. I mean, just like the metal like die cast is just interesting. It's so heavy. And we had mentioned in the chat, we were talking about like the ingot cards, the bloodlines ingots. Like it's kind of like that. Like it's just cool. It's different. One thing that I will say about the printing plates, there's a lot of the 101s, right? So they have like the yellow printing plate 101, the black and white 101. I think I saw like a magenta 101.
Yeah, there's
Y-
usually four
Yeah.
four
So
printing plates per
so
card. Yeah,
so it's kind of, in my opinion, that's kind of like an of four. However many colors they have, that I get that it's a 101, but at the same time, there's multiple of them. I mean, still very cool, still very rare. With that low of a supply, long term, you would think that they would definitely hold value over time. I had a question for you. Why do you think they tend to be so much more affordable than other low numbered parallels?
the printing plates.
Yeah, because they're
I,
very low in price.
I think it's because of the grading situation. I think that's what it boils down to. I look, a lot of the printing plates you see are graded as authentic because it's really tough to get a printing plate with no scratches and things like that on it, and the majority of people grade them as authentic. I do see a couple printing plates that come by that people grade and it's like a 7 or an 8. So I think the grading component of them does factor into people's you know likability to the product, to the cards as a whole. I think it's education, Zach. I think a lot of people don't know, what they actually are when they pull it. They're like, well, what is this weird metal
Yeah.
thing that's
Right.
in my pack? So I think it's an educational component that people are like we were just talking about there. It's like, yeah, there's 4 different printing plates. These are used to print the actual cards that you see in the packs. So I don't know. I just think it's always been a unique thing in the hobby. Panini. You were talking about Panini and UFC, but Panini was doing printing plates in like football and
Okay.
and other sports. So those printing plates do exist. I think it's just and Topps was really well known for doing a lot of printing plates in making sure that they were getting certain products, and especially too was having the athlete or the personality sign the actual printing plate
Yeah.
too, which I think is a big turn on to some folks as a whole too. So I think there's just a lot of variety, but yeah, I think it boils down to education and just not the grading component as well.
Mhm. Yeah, let's take a look at some of these, man. Because when you mentioned this, I was like, let me look up what we got, and we have some pretty cool printing plates on here. Like you're saying, we got the auto, we got the 101, Auto 10 authenticated, and this is the John Jones from 2011. This one, yeah, man, 2000. I mean, you're talking about 1500, and this is so sick to me. This is like the yellow. You got the GSP Auto. I mean, just really, really cool and surprisingly low. Like check this one out, Josh. This is the 2014 Habib Knockout, and it's selling for 1100 in 2022. Like, that is such a cool card, man.
I think that's just super undervalued, man.
Very undervalued.
And I don't know too if it's just because you can't see, like, you know, on your normal card you see all the colors,
right,
and you see everything. I think that's probably a little bit of it too. But like a Khabib 1100 printing plate, I don't know. To me, that just seems super undervalued. I look at that as a much higher thing, especially being a 101 and being an early Khabib card, I guess, in parentheses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, like I would be curious, and I really should have did this before we started, to compare this card to like an of 5 or a low numbered parallel of this exact card, because I would be hard pressed to imagine that an of whatever, of 10, of 5 of this exact card would be $1,100. So I guess this kind of could be a good buying opportunity if you like the printing plates, if you want to keep them in your collection, or even maybe like a long-term hold or a flip play. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's tough to argue. We were talking about whether it's a 101 or 104 or whatever.
Yeah.
Look, it's, especially, I will tell you, like the main sought after ones are the black and the blue ones.
It's kind of scary right here. Look at that.
I mean, that's But I will tell you, like, I feel like down the road, 5, 10 years, 15 years down the road, you'll have, or whenever you would get them, is that I think you have more leverage in terms of what you can sell them for, because there aren't a whole lot of comps per se on some things like this that are just those 101s, printing plates and things like that. So I don't know. I feel like there's an opportunity there to definitely take advantage of, and plus, I just think it's super cool to own. Like that's a kick butt one right there.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
When they do the auto and and the patch is included, and if it's something event worn or game worn or fight worn or whatever, I mean that's right there as a kick butt printing plate as a whole. So I don't know. I really like them, and I'm trying to figure out why people don't like them.
Right.
I've always collected, here and there throughout the years and bought and sold them. So it's not like they don't sell, because people do buy them up. It's just, I don't know. I think it's an oddity, but I think it's a good oddity.
Yeah. As we're looking at these right now, this has me itching to go online and see if I can find any like good deals for these. So I might actually do that today once we get off this interview, because a couple of those are pretty reasonably priced, man, for that low, for that type of name, for the history behind it, for how cool it is. That would just be such a cool piece to have in your collection.
Absolutely. I think it's really cool.